Hey you guys, Yulia here. So I am back in this little garden I've been working on for a while, and if you haven't been following this project, I would put a video in the description down below that will show you the entire process pretty much from the beginning, so you can go ahead and watch that video first and come back to this one. But if you have been following this project, what I'm going to do today is finally add some color to the space. So if you guys remember, we only did the infrastructure, the patio, some privacy trees and a hedge, but today it's time for some beautiful flowers. So just to refresh your memory, the things that have been done so far is planting of these privacy trees. I planted a hedge next to the fence, beautiful red buds in the back, sod was laid, patio was installed, and some stepping stones. So what I'm going to do today is add some beautiful pots and plantings. Look at that color scheme. Oh my goodness. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plant these first and then go over the plants with you. And then the other project is to green up this garage wall. I am so excited about this because look at the colors. So the idea for this wall is to blend some climbing roses and clematis. Unfortunately, I could not find any climbing roses, and the ones that I wanted to buy online, like David Austin's, were all sold out, so we're going to wait for that. But I found some gorgeous clematis in local nurseries, and this little skinny bed right here is going to be packed with flowers. And I know this looks kind of scary, but I saw Erin, the impatient gardener's skinny bed. Hers is actually next to a concrete patio, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So she doesn't have the advantage of like the lawn area, so the roots can kind of grow out. And her bed is gorgeous. It is packed with roses and clematis and dahlias and annuals. So this is the plan for this space. And then I have a beautiful climbing hydrangea that I'm going to plant in this space. And the idea is for it to grow up and kind of to this side and cover the vinyl fence. So the climbers are all planted in the garage wall, and because the soil needs work, I added plant tone right away, and I will amend it with compost next time I'm here, and I will mulch the entire area. But let me show you what we have here. So this is Happy Jack Purple Clematis. Absolutely beautiful. This one grows to about 8 feet tall, and I think it will be perfect. So the top of the trellis is about 7.5, so it will be a little bit higher. I think that's just what this space needs. This one is a little bit different. It's also purple, but I think this one is deeper in color. This is Amethyst Beauty. Now this one grows to about 6 feet tall, so it will be almost to the top of the trellis. And right here I will have a rose when I find one, but for now I found this Thunbergia, or Black-Eyed Susan. I have never seen a pink one. Isn't it so beautiful? So this one is called Arizona Rose Sensation. And I think it will be just so perfect with the clematis. Also, I know I'm going to get questions about this thing. I am not certain as for what it is. I think the homeowners told me it's for like fireplace ash maybe, but it's non-functional, so we don't need access to that. And this trellis is like not 100% flush against the wall, which is perfectly fine. When the rose comes in, it'll actually cover the whole thing. As for the climbing hydrangea, I actually decided to plant it in this corner here because I can run it both to the left and to the right. So climbing hydrangeas eventually do get to about 30 feet tall, or should I rather say long, because they kind of grow in all directions. I have a climbing hydrangea of my own in my house. I love it. I will post a video in the description down below if you want to hear a little bit more in detail about how to grow them. But basically, they do not need support. They have suction pads and it will attach to the fence all on its own. And it does well both in the sun, in part shade, and in the shade. However, in full shade, it will not bloom as well. But I think it's just a perfect plant for this area because I wanted something evergreen over here, because the homeowners are looking at the space all year round out of their kitchen window. But in this corner here, this is only seen during the growing period, during the spring and summer, and I think this vine is perfect for the space. The pots are next, but first I need to put some pot feet under this pot. I already did it with these, and the reason why you do that is to make sure the drainage is okay, and also so it doesn't stain the patio. So I got these on Amazon. I will put a link in the description down below. All you do is put like 4 and put the pot on top. There you go. Pots are all planted and I watered them in really well, and I put some more potting mix in between the root balls to make sure it's nicely packed. So let me go over the plants real quick. This is Supertunia Mini Vista Midnight. What a gorgeous color. Oh, I can't even describe it. It's like nearly black. This is Isotome Gemini Blue, and I have grown this plant before from seed years ago, and I loved it. It's just such a delicate little blue flower. And this salvia is rocking blue suede shoes. And I've grown this one before. It does get quite tall, and I did pack these containers kind of tight, cram them in, but I do have some herbs here that the homeowners will be using, like the thyme, lavender, basil. Right here I planted purple basil, which looks so beautiful with all of the blue colors that I have here. And this last plant here is blue-eyed grass. This is a native plant. It's a perennial. At the end of the season I will plant it out in the garden. How cute is this thing? I love it. And I also planted some rosemary in here, and the idea of these pots, pretty much to have pretty pots with some herbs, because the grill is right here. So as they grill, they could use the herbs and look at some beautiful plants. All right, and these are the front door pots, and I think this is my favorite plant combination today out of everything that I planted. So this Dicentra is Amore Titanium. This is a perennial, and at the end of the season we most likely will plant it out in landscape. And I do love to use perennials in pots because you can repurpose them at the end of the season. This is Dichondra Silver Falls, and this is Persian Shield. The color in this plant is unbelievable. Look at that. And this looked kind of strange with this pot kind of just sitting all on its own next to this shrub. So I had a step down plant, which is a ghost fern that kind of picks up all the colors in the planter. So a little bit of a purple, a little bit of gray. Just simple but effective. Forgot to mention that this plant selection had to be shade tolerant and deer resistant. So you can see there's a little bit of sun right here right now. This is the afternoon sun. They get about 1 hour, and that's it. The rest of the day it is very shady in the spot. Also, there's a lot of deer pressure from the nearby park, and all of these plants here are deer resistant. Alright you guys, this is it for today's video. There will be more updates on this space, as I will be planting shrubs and perennials here in a couple of weeks. So definitely keep in touch. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.